6 months later, the city hummed with its usual rhythm, horns blaring, footsteps rushing, voices blending into the steady music of life. But for Selena Carter, time felt slower now, softer. Her law firm had celebrated her big win, and even offered her a partnership track sooner than expected. Yet for the first time in her life, her career wasn't the only thing that defined her, because in the quiet corners of her days, in the moments she once filled with nothing but work, Daniel had slipped in and stayed. She stood in the library of his apartment, staring at the shelves lined with legal briefs, textbooks, and the odd science magazine Daniel claimed kept his mind sharp. Her own files were tucked neatly beside his, their lives blending in ways she never would have thought possible. Behind her, arms slid around her waist. His voice rumbled against her ear, warm and teasing. "You're staring like a woman building a closing argument." She smiled, leaning back against him. "Maybe I am." "Oh?" He kissed the curve of her neck. "And what's the verdict, counselor?" Selena turned in his arms, meeting his blue-gray eyes that had once unnerved her and now felt like home. Her smile softened. "That I was wrong. About love. About everything." Daniel brushed his thumb across her cheek, his grin equal parts tender and cocky. "I'll never get tired of hearing that." She laughed, swatting his chest lightly, then sobered. "You know, if someone had told me a year ago that I'd fall for the man I pretended to date just to get Ella off my back, I would have called it the most ridiculous theory ever. And yet—" He tilted her chin, kissing her slowly, deliberately. When he pulled back, she whispered, "And yet, it's the only theory that's ever held up under scrutiny." Later that evening, Ella joined them for dinner, her delighted smile watching the two of them bicker over takeout menus. "I still can't believe this," she said, shaking her head. "You two are disgustingly perfect. Like, I should be charging admission to watch this experiment unfold." Selena rolled her eyes, but the corners of her lips curved upward. "It's not an experiment anymore, Ella. It's real." Daniel slipped his hand over hers on the table, squeezing gently. Real and permanent. For once, Selena didn't feel the need to argue, to defend, to poke holes in the possibility of forever. She simply believed. Because love wasn't about airtight logic or ironclad evidence. Love was about trust, about leaping without knowing where you'd land, about finding someone who stayed, even when you tried to push them away, and Daniel Carlsen had stayed. Selena Carter, once love's greatest skeptic, had finally found the one truth she couldn't deny. Love wasn't chaos. Love wasn't theory. Love was fact. And she had all the proof she'd ever need. For the full story, click the link below. With a heart full of gratitude, Vintage Mike Tales.